Always great to talk to Jeremy Roenick, one of the great American players in the history of the game, an analyst for NBC, and kind enough to join us. JR, how are you?
Hey, Dan, long time no talk. How you been, pal?
It's good to have you on. What do you expect to happen in these Game 7s tonight?
Well, it's the best part of playoffs, right? I mean, it's the do or die. It's who's going to be the heroes, who's going to make that first mistake or the big mistake. And these are the games that you wait on with huge anticipation. I can't wait to see what happens if Washington can make an amazing comeback, which I think they will. They finally entered the playoffs in these last two games. It's the best they've played all year. They finally played playoff hockey, and you see what happens when this team plays playoff hockey. I can't see them winning two big games like they did, especially Game 6. The way they really battled against Pittsburgh to lose that one. So I think this is the real deal Washington team that is looking to take that next step.
What did you see when you saw in real time when you saw Sidney Crosby go into the boards last game, Game 6 in the first period?
Well, I think like any spectator or fan watching the game, you cringe a little bit. I mean, we've seen guys go into the boards in such weird positions. We saw Eric Stahl do it in Minnesota earlier in the playoffs. We saw Fiala do it and break his femur a few weeks back. And then it doesn't matter whether it's the best player in the game in Sidney Crosby or a fourth line guy. You don't want to see someone get hurt, but that was, especially with his concussion situations and just getting hit the other day. I cringed hoping he was okay, and he got up pretty quickly, which made me feel pretty good. But you just never like to see people in that situation. Okay,
but whose responsibility is it to make sure just to check him out as a precautionary measure? I know how important the game is, but this is a guy who's missed 100 games due to concussions in his career, just coming off a concussion. The only surprising element was, in between periods, did they check him for concussion?
I'm sure they did, and I don't know how thoroughly a job that they did, because I mean, obviously he didn't miss any time, and he was pretty much on the bench, the entire game. And I'm a firm believer in the players have to really honestly have a discussion with the medical staff on how he really feels. I was the worst, Dan, at it. I would play through anything. I would not tell people how I felt. I didn't want to miss hockey games, and probably that was the sign of the times back then. But nowadays, you almost have to protect players from themselves because they are the grinders, they're competitors, and they don't want to be looked at as weak or being soft. And they want to be part of a win, or they want to be part of the team, and that's hard to drag yourself away from. And it is. I think nowadays it is up to the league to make sure that they step in and do what's right for the player, because a lot of times the player will not do right by himself. I was for sure one of those guys.
But that's what I wondered, though, JR, is it the league's job or is it the team's job? Because that's your investment. That's Sidney Crosby there. He's yours. You can put your hands on him right away to find out where he stands on this, or do you need Big Brother watching that game? Yeah. And by the way, can the league then send a message to the officials in the game and say, we want him checked? Do they have the power to do that?
It is the league, and the league has the power to do whatever they deem fit. But you put it in the powers of the team also. The team has a bias towards their best player also. I think you have to take the bias out of an injury. I think a team would be just as inclined to say, he's okay. He's really important for our team. We can't afford to have him out, so on and so forth. You don't like to think that would slip into somebody's mind, but I don't think you want to put that option in there.
Talking to Jeremy Roenick, NHL on NBC, NBCSN. If you and Mike Milbury got into it, what happens?
Well, Mike's not moving around too well anymore. He's maybe in his heyday, I'd be in a little bit of trouble, but I think Mike would be in a lot of trouble right now. One, he wouldn't be able to catch me. And two, I'm a little bit quicker and stronger than he is right now.
Okay, but Milbury in his prime.
Yeah, Milbury in his prime. time, I think would tear a couple limbs off me. He was pretty tough. He was a tough Boston boy. I'm telling you. Hey, listen, I would go at it with him. I'd come out with a bunch of bruises and cuts and wounds, and maybe a concussion or two. But hey, I'd go after it anyway.
Who's the guy though that you knew it was going to happen, but you didn't want it to happen on the ice?
I fought Marty McSorley twice because I was a guy that ran around and hit a lot, and Marty was the policer of the game. So I knew whether I hit Marty really hard or hit somebody on his team really hard that he was going to come after me. So he hit me so hard between the eyes one time, Dan, that I literally couldn't see. I couldn't see for a minimum of 15 seconds, and I had to try to grab onto whatever I could get my hands onto to secure myself. It was not fun. He was a mean guy on the ice.
Are these guys mean off the ice?
No, they're the nicest guys you've ever met. Hockey players are the nicest guys on the planet. They are. They're most of them are soft-spoken, with the exception of maybe myself and PK Subban. They're generous. They're humble. They're great guys. They're awesome.
Yeah, but it seems strange that they know what their job is. Although we're losing those enforcers, right? Is the game gotten rid of them for the most part?
They have, and you probably see one of the last good ones leaving the game this year in Chris Neal. Obviously he played the game the other day against the Rangers and pretty much did his job to make sure that Tanner Glass wasn't running around doing what he does best. But the game is too fast now. It's all about skill and scoring goals, and the fighter now is pretty much extinct in the game.
JR, great to talk to you. I hope to see you in the man cave here and have fun the rest of the playoffs.
I hope so. Be some great Game 7s, and this is where superstars are created right here. This is where legends are made. And remember, Justin Williams, more Game 7 goals than anybody in history playing for Washington tonight. Let's see if he gets another one.
Are you calling a shot here, JR?
I'm calling my shot. I know Justin very well. He's Mr. Game 7. I would have to think he was going to have an impact on this game for Washington Capitals tonight.
By the way, we're all in on the Predators, just to let you know.
I love the Predators. I picked them in the beginning of the year to probably go to the finals. I kind of lost track of them as the season went on, but boy, they've turned it on. It's a great story. JR,
good to talk to you. Thank you.
All right, Dan, thanks for having me on.
That's Jeremy Roenick. We always like when he comes into the man cave because somebody gets hurt, and it's never JR who gets hurt.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.